Let's try and take you back now to our top story. KwaZulu-Natal Legislature Deputy Speaker Mluleki Ndobe has died. The cause of his death is still unknown. The ANC in KZN has sent its condolences to the Ndobe family. But for more on that story, I'm joined by the party's provincial spokesperson, Nhlakanipho Ntombela, whose life was via Skype from Durban. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. This news must have come as a shock to the ANC structures.
Yes, indeed it is a shock. It was unexpected. We received the news late in the evening yesterday after 11 that Comrade Ndobe has indeed passed on.
Do we have any information as to the details around his death?
At this stage, Comrade Ndobe had cancer. Even in the legislature programs, was no longer attending as expected, as was undergoing chemotherapy. So at this stage, we were not sure exactly what happened until we go and visit the family and get it from the family itself. Although there are other speculations on his passing on, but at this stage, until we reach the family and engage with them, that when we'll get the detail of exactly what transpired. But what we can confirm is indeed that he is indeed no more.
Now, up until he took up the very influential position of Deputy Speaker of the KwaZulu-Natal Legislature, Mluleki Ndobe was very much involved in the youth structures of the ANC. What are your abiding memories of Mluleki about his role in especially the youth structures of the ANC?
He was a responsible leader of our movement, an eloquent leader of our young people. In fact, I was then the chairperson of the Youth League in the province. We had to welcome them. As you remember, that Mzimkhulu was part of the Eastern Cape. So he was part of the team we had to welcome to KZN. Through their effort, we were able to launch the first region of the ANC Youth League in the Herikwala region. It was because of their contribution and the late of Comrade Sindiso Makaka that we were able to launch the ANC Youth League in that region of Herikwala.
You mentioned the Youth League leader, Sindiso Makaka, there. What are your thoughts right now about the relationship that Makaka and Ndobe and other leaders within the ANC's youth structures had?
Well, as young people who grew up in the movement, we grew up with only nothing else but unconditional love for the movement. We grew up as young people with the comradeship amongst ourselves, even though we might have had differences in some instances, because within the political organization, we'll have different views on how you think organization should be taken forward. But the comradeship which brought us together never diminished in all of the situations and circumstances.
Now, the structures of the ANC Youth League, we know, as a matter of fact, that has not always been easy. It has been tense. Of course, Makaka himself was murdered as well. How did that impact Mluleki Ndobe and how he took his role going forward in the ANC structures in the KZN?
Well, it impacted, as you are aware, that at some point he was a suspect until the court cleared him on the matter. So it impacted on the organization because once a comrade passes on in a manner that Comrade Sindiso Makaka passed on, and the state can't conclusively find out what transpired, it will always leave a cloud amongst many within us. As you are aware that in KZN, there have been a number of instances wherein ANC leaders have died through the bullets. So the fact that the NPA could not conclude that process timelessly, indeed it left a cloud amongst the comrade and the suspicion amongst the comrade that what might have happened. Hopefully, as the case is in court now and proceeding, indeed we'll get a conclusion of that chapter and close it properly so that even the family of Comrade Sindiso Makaka can have peace in knowing what indeed happened when he demised.
Thank you so much for that update. We're going to leave it there. That is the ANC KZN's provincial spokesperson, Nhlakanipho Ntombela.